Okay, so I'll cover the inventory or items that we need to take to loot the chests. The only two real items are a teleport and a ring of wealth. It's said that the ring of wealth helps. I'm not sure if it helps the kits and the shade skulls, but worth taking it anyway. And I'm just going to use the medallion again. But as with burning the shades, as long as you've got a means to bank and a teleport back, your choice. There's no right or wrong, obviously. Uh, with the keys, I'll do a trial run with the silver keys, a timed run as well, just so you can see a method I sort of use. So instead of taking a whole inventory of the same color, I would take 14 of these and 14 of these. You will see why. It's because the chests take a while, or not a while, but they don't fill up straight away. You have to wait for it to close and then reopen it. So this will give an example of why I do this. So let the timed run begin. So as with the burning of the remains, you just run north. And just keep going north. And you'll see the dungeon sign. So down we go. And south and then west. And this is the door you need a silver key for, even if you have the gold keys. So I'll put a map of this on Facebook. Facebook. I'll put a map of this up on in the description. But this is what I mean about taking 14 of each. So you can just do this, and you can see that they are taking a bit of time to reopen again. So this just speeds it up a lot. So as you can see, roughly 220 are, and as you can also see, the silver keys give a lot of crap, to be fair. I guess it can all add up if you're optimistic, but it's nothing really worthwhile. These two keys were two of the lower ones. If we have a look in here, yeah, these were two of the lower ones. You might get a bit more rune from the silver, but other than that, yeah, it's not great. I will drop the hard clue scroll because you can get elites from the gold keys, and that's what I'll be looting now. Okay, so now it's time to do some looting. All the other rooms in here, none of them are really that great. It's for when you do lower remains and you get a lot worse keys. I think bronze keys and steel keys. I'm not sure what else, but this, I don't know what you call it, mini game or whatever, is not really worth doing unless you're doing it for the silver keys and the gold keys. So I can't imagine any of those rooms really get used. So here we go. Unfortunately as well, these gold ones don't have a room with more than one, so we just have to sit there and click patiently. Okay, so there's inventory number one, two kits and a skull, which is not too bad. Three kits needed to make the full Necromancer robes, hat, robes and bottom obviously, and you can have as many shade skulls as you want because you can put them on as many staves as you want. So let's go get geared up for inventory number 2. And a kit first go, that's always nice. And there's inventory number 2. Necro kit off the first got my hopes up, but just the shade skull after that. And of course we've got one more inventory to go, so let's get that ready. And let's see if we can have a third time lucky approach and get a whole lot of solid kits and skulls. Okay, so third time seemed to be our best one. 3 kits and 2 skulls. So all that's left to do now that all the gold keys are done, I guess I will use all the silver ones. I won't put that on video because it's boring. However, I will show the final price check, and in the description I'll have a write down how much it'll cost and how much money I lost, because I'm quite sure this won't profit. So we had 6 kits and I already had some skulls. I had 3, so we got four skulls. I think that's right. 3 skulls. So 4 skulls and the 6 kits, so enough to make placeholder Necromancer robes even. So next up we will make, or I will show you how to turn the kits into the robes. Okay, so I have the dagger knife here, and I have a kit for each one. You need 30 pieces of fine cloth, so I bought another 30 as to not change, have a hassle with the tab. They buy for about 1 key each, so the cost of the cloth doesn't really matter at all. So let's make these robes. Just use the kit with the hood. Yes. And again. And just use the last few on the top. Oh, wrong. What am I doing? There we go. So now we can take all that off, and you have your robes. Adding the kits does not change any of the stats, it's purely a cosmetic look. And yeah, the Dagon High set only costs about 200k, so if you want a new look, then the Dagon Eye robes is something different, I guess. Okay, and to use the Shade Skull on a staff, I've got the Staff of Fire. Now this doesn't make it a very obvious change. It used to have the skull pretty much as the top of the staff, but if we put this on now, yeah, from the back, if you can see it there, and in here, it's just the stick and the difference that the skull makes. So you just click one on the other, customize yes, and there we go. You can see the skull sort of there. better angle up here. There we go. So you can sort of tell, but not massively obvious in game, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. Okay, so here is our price check of everything. Here's everything we got. Obviously, we only got 4 of those. I had 3 before, and 6 kits, which is always nice. As for everything else, pretty, it's nice getting bits and pieces of rune, magic logs and that, but I guess we'll see once we price check. Okay, so the price check of the first inventory is a little over 3 mil. So it's nice to get back, obviously, considering you do it for the kit and the skull, so any money you make back is pretty much a bonus. And if we go and do the last inventory, and here we go. These flame tear hammers aren't tradable, so they don't really count. But yeah, well, the total here comes to just over 1. So it's a total of a little over 4 mil. I spent I think 11.5 mil on supplies, so cost about 7.5 mil for how many I did. Obviously, that was for 1,000. Whereas if you do less, hopefully it'll cost you less, obviously. So this is just a guide to go by. Well, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Hope it helped, give you an idea of how to go about it, a rough idea of cost and everything. I'll put a lot more information in the description as usual, and any questions, fire away. But until next time, take care.